And it's back for another video. This time I'm going to be ranking every driver lineup on the F1 grid from 10th to 1st. Starting with number 10, it's got to be Williams' lineup of Alex Albon and Logan Sargeant. I have to say this is actually a mark of how strong the grid is, because Alex Albon is a decent driver, whilst Logan Sargeant might become a decent driver, but he is not quite there yet in terms of being one of the seriously competitive F1 drivers yet, having just come off a season of finishing third in the Formula 2 Championship. This will be the first time we see an American race in F1 since 2015, and of course the first full-time driver since 2007 with Scott Speed. 9th place, and it's also another tricky one, it's going to be the AlphaTauri duo of Nick De Vries and Yuki Tsunoda. Truth be told, this lineup is down here in 9th place because Tsunoda, for me, is not a great driver. Although I think Nick De Vries will be the one carrying the bag for the ex-Minardi boys next year. Of course, Red Bull keeps saying that the team is up for sale, but no one wants to buy it. And of course, with Red Bull's new powertrains company, of course, I'm pretty sure they'll be using that as leverage to sell to other teams. If any other teams on the grid want a new engine, maybe, Williams decide they want a cheaper engine and they go with Red Bull powertrains and so on and so forth. In 8th place, it is the Alfa Romeo duo of Valtteri Bottas and Zhou Guanyu, I beg your pardon. I think I don't need to explain this too much. Bottas is the older, experienced driver, there to solidly score points week in, week out, and Zhou will be there, continuing to develop, improve his consistency and all-round speed. Pretty much a solid 8th place. And in 7th place, might rattle a few feathers, particularly with a certain fan base. It's got to be Aston Martin with Lance Stroll and Fernando Alonso. Alonso is still a great driver, but he's surely going to be beginning to fade away due to age. And as for Lance Stroll, I've not seen any improvements from him since 2 years ago, if I'm going to be honest. Ever since the team changed its name to Aston Martin, he has stagnated, he has continued being erratic. One weekend he'll be fantastic, the next he'll be bang average, and of course his driving remains just as hazardous and as erratic as before. It's not good enough from me. 6th place, it is got to be McLaren. Lando Norris has been absolutely superb in the past 2 years, destroying and sending Daniel Ricciardo into retirement, whilst Oscar Piastri is someone I expect very, very good things from. He won 3 consecutive junior titles: 2019, the Formula Renault 2-litre Championship, 2020, the Formula 3 Series, and of course 2021, the Formula 2 Championship. Progressively improving every series he goes to and winning first time out. But of course, he will be struggling slightly due to having been forced to take a break last year due to no funding and no space for him on the F1 grid. Alpine's poor handling of his contract was an absolute joke, and frankly he's made a mug out of them by switching to McLaren, because I expect McLaren to possibly produce a very good car next year in 2023. 5th place. It may be a surprise, but it has got to be the Haas duo of Kevin Magnussen and Nico Hulkenberg. With MoneyGram funding the team next year, they'll be having access to more resources and more financial power. And I fully expect Kevin Magnussen and Nico Hulkenberg to be up to speed. Kevin Magnussen carrying the team last year on his shoulders, with of course Mick Schumacher crashing so far too often and eating into the team's budget, very limited budget by I add. And of course Nico Hulkenberg proving that whenever he stood in at a Racing Point and Aston Martin, that he could do a decent job in short notice, proving that talent is well and truly there. Of course, when he did stand in for Checo Perez at the British Grand Prix and the 70th anniversary Grand Prix for Racing Point 2 years ago. He outpaced Lance Stroll in qualifying, and of course, he was running ahead of Lance Stroll in the race in the 70th anniversary event, only to pick up a flat spot, very suspiciously enough. I don't know whether that was to save Lance's plushes, but we'll never know. I mean, it's not like his dad runs his team. Oh, no. No. They'd never do a thing. But, yeah, 4th place, it is Alpine, Pierre Gasly and Esteban Ocon. This is arguably the strongest lineup in the whole of the midfield. You know who I support, and it's not Ocon. 3rd place, it is got to be Red Bull, Perez and Verstappen. Truth be told, Verstappen, in my opinion, is the best driver on the grid, but his driver lineup is weighed down by the fact that Perez is happened to be the number 2. But having said that, though, it was good enough to win the Constructors' Championship last year due to, of course, Red Bull having the best ran team, and of course, the best driver in Max was Perez. Missed out on runners-up spot in the Drivers' Championship by just a few points. Although Max really didn't help matters at Brazil in regards to that. In 2nd place, it is the Ferrari duo of Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. Charles Leclerc got arguably the fastest driver on the grid over a single lap. And Carlos Sainz, very good driver in terms of his all-round skills, but he's not ultra-fast, nor is he someone that I would describe as a particularly great front-runner in a top car for some reason. He seems to be much better driving a midfield car and driving around problems than actually being able to push a car to the full limit, although he does have a lot of strong technical understanding. However, the move to make Frederic Vasseur the new team principal at Maranello might undermine him next year, since, of course, Vasseur had a very strong relationship with Charles Leclerc at Sauber 4 years ago, and of course, we all know Leclerc is probably going to get all matey with him again. And of course, in 1st place, it is the British lineup of Lewis Hamilton and George Russell at Mercedes AMG Petronas. Look, Lewis Hamilton's a 7-time world champion. He's still got it. He might have lost half a tenth in terms of raw speed, but his all-round race pace and overtaking skills is still right up there. I mean, yes, he's going to be 38 years old, but as we saw in the second half of the season, he completely wiped the floor with George Russell. As for George Russell, though, I think he's going to continue improving. Last year was a test trial year, and he'll push Hamilton to the limit. So, best of luck to F1 next season.